was inspired by this little kit here. It's a Mack tiller. It's a 1923. I backdated it. The only thing from the kit is the chassis and the cab here. I shortened the chassis about 24 scale inches. Everything from the back is some scratch, just plastruck, brass. I've got fenders. The wagon wheels from a kit, but I got brass fenders. The life nets from scratch. All the ladders. I got a lot more ladders at home that I built. The longest time consuming is building a jig for each ladder because they're all different sizes. So I can keep it relatively straight. Nothing will work. It'll all be stationary because it's so fragile. The hardest part is finding references for something that's old. They're just not around anymore. So when I was down in Arizona, went down to see the Titan Missile Museum. And I stopped by Phoenix, who have a fire department museum, and they had something pretty close. And I like all the steering mechanism underneath this. It's dead on, but I'm kind of taking different ideas and putting them in together for this. But my big love in the fire department is these are called tillered aerials, tractor drawn tillered aerials, and that's my big love. I've got one of Tacoma Truck 2 that I built, and another one. This is about my 4th aerial here. I just think that the coolest thing in the world, the guy back there steering the ass in around corners and stuff, like that Boeing guy that takes the wings up I-5, kind of the same concept. Yeah. But it's going to be painted dark red from the chassis down, and the top maybe white, gloss white. I've got a lot more components to the turntable, and what I can't really want to know tonight is I want some idea. Like I was telling Mark and a couple other guys, I love to build, but I truly hate to paint. It seems like something always goes wrong. I have airbrush, I have a booth. I just hate to paint. So I was wondering, for all the fine components on the turntable, I'm wondering if I should paint them as individual and try to glue them on, or if I should just go ahead and build it, and so it's there and sturdy, and just take my airbrush and hope for the best. I don't really know what to do, because if I get it wrong, I can't fix it, because it's so fragile, I'm not going to be able to strip it. It's got to be right the first time. And I'm not quite sure how to paint that
Paint them all
turntable.
separately and use super glue to put them on.
What's
Just
that?
Be very careful with your super glue.
Well, I can glue it. I can glue it after I paint it. Yeah, but that's why I was thinking paint them individually so I get good coverage. So I was going to super this my
You
concept.
can use regular plastic cement also, as long as you remove paint from the
Oh yeah, no,
surface here.
it's not the gluing part. It's just I was
Right.
just wondering what to be, because a lot of armor builders, they put all the equipment on the spray and they go back and do the stuff there. And so, but I can't really do it with this one. So
Yeah, it depends whether you want the paint to build up in the gaps between the parts, and you know how much you want it to look like a separate part or like it's all one piece.
I hope to have this done by the next month. I want it ready for Mount Vernon on March 30th. That's what I want. So. And since I'm retired, I got all the time in the world. So.
Yeah.
Are all the wood parts actual plastic,
Pardon
or are the wood parts?
They're
wood?
all actual wood.
Oh,
They're
wow.
basswood, all actual cut to scale. I found brochures from the ladder companies back in the 1920s that the scale. They're all actually to scale, to length, to width, to depth, to beam, everything.
Nice.
So.
How many hours you got in that so far? How many hours?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. A lot of times I sit there and look, and again, building jigs. The trailer, I built 3 trailers before I found the one I liked. The trailer.
Did you have fun?
The
doing
ladder.
it?
This is not the ladder I'm going to use, because after I did it, it's too messy. So I got a whole nother ladder. It's going to be a little bit lighter, and I try to give some contrast, like these here guys right here. So each one of these is cut. These little guys, I've sanded them, and they all go through and they're glued. It's called a pompier ladder. They take it and they stick it in the window of a building. They crawl up, and there's a second one they stick it, and then they crawl up the outside of the building. Jeez. So I tried to do different colors to give us some kind of depth. You know, when I stain them. Right. Some is stain, actual wood stains. Some are paint. Mr. Color, I think mahogany. So I'm just kind of piddling as I go along. This guy here, I know I got about 40 hours in this right here. There's each one of these things is 7 different individual pieces. These are black pieces. So it's a bar with a spring, with 2 spacers, and 2 leather straps. And if I took these off, it would actually open up. It would actually open up, but I don't want it to. But I went to took it in Arizona. I didn't know how big they were. I found in Arizona. I measured one, and I'm very happy with this one. So. But, yeah.
About the wood staining, at the Dollar Tree, they have these little three pen sets with different wood stain colors, little Sharpies. For those of us who, like myself, are a little too lazy to mix it and spray it, or too cheap to buy the $5 bottles for different stains.
Speaking of Sharpies, I was gonna ask you guys, anybody seen those chrome pens down at?
Yeah.
Molotov.
Yeah.
Aren't they awesome?
Yes, they're
Yeah.
great.
Yes, they are.
That's what I used right here. That's that's chrome pen right there.
The Sharpie.
Only problem is kind of hard to get nice, smooth, like a paint. But that is chrome. I
Yeah,
mean,
the
that-
Molotov is really
They're
nice.
beautiful.
Yes.
Those these guys right here. If nobody's
Wow.
seen the paint, you can. That's the paint right. Those chrome bases around there. That's a marker from Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, the
Right.
Molotov, they still.
Molotov.
It's what now?
Molotov is the
Molotov.
name, the brand name.
It's not a V on the end, it's a W.
Yeah.
They got some hanging with the model parts and
Yeah.
some down with the drafting and marker
Right.
supplies.
Right.
And they're very reasonable.
Yeah.
They've got 3 different sizes. Yeah.
Yep.
I also use their markers from their art department for detailing cockpits. They've got a really nice metallic silver that works great for switches, buttons, and things like that. They also have black, which I use for the boxes on.
I wish they made like
on
a
the
shiny
side consoles and
brass. Would be
stuff.
nice. They made a
Yeah,
brass one.
yeah.
Yeah,
that would
they
be-
have a gold.
That gold, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that one too. Now I
Yep.
gotta cut out everything, so that's.
Very nice.
that's mine.
So this is
Very
about a,
nice.
what, 1/24th scale, the front?
Pardon me?
1/24th scale?
1/24th.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just used this guy here, and I just measured and
Reference.
kind of.
So the Mack truck portion of, is it the Revell Mack truck kit or?
Monogram.
Oh, monogram. Okay.
It's the monogram
Same-
Mac
same thing.
AC.
Yeah.
Revelogram.
And
Fire engine
they got
motor.
like 3 of it's been around for years. It's,
Yeah.
it's a decent kit. I didn't bring the engine. I got the engine all wired and plumbed and everything for it. And so
Because I think the front part, wasn't it, isn't that what the beer wagon?
no,
and
they
stuff
had,
was
they had a
based on?
flatbed, a tanker
Yeah.
truck,
You're
and
right.
something like
Right,
3 or 4
yeah.
ones. Yeah. I've got so many of the kits. I don't even know which ones they came from. So I got a bin with all the cabs and parts. I just dug out what I needed. The floor I redid from scratch. That's a wooden floor, actual wooden floor. And I cut
Fire engine bucks, if you ever
the
get to
Mac emblem on the
Tacoma
front.
City.
I took the Mac emblem off, and I've got a screen that goes in there. It's actually a round screen. The Mac emblem's back on there. I cut the filler panel. There'll be a screen here. So I backdated
Right.
to about a 1924,
Okay.
23.
Okay.
All right. Very nice.
Yeah, very impressive.
Very ambitious.
Thank